Welcome to Align Within, Exhale Beyond. I'm Sara, and this space is for quiet transmissions to pause, reflect, and reconnect to the truth that lives beneath all the noise. You don't need to do more, you need to realize. And to realize, you need silence and stillness. Expansion. We hear this word everywhere, spoken in circles of wellness, spirituality, entrepreneurship, as if it is always a sign of growth. But expansion is not always healthy, and it is certainly not always aligned. The real question is not if you are expanding. It is where you are expanding and which version of you is expanding. Because expansion in the wrong plane isn't evolution, it is entanglement. When expansion happens in the physical or material realm, it often appears beautiful. More roles, more responsibilities, more belongings, more rooms, more homes, more events to attend, more things to own, more titles to hold. But all of this has mass, and matter by nature is dense. It takes up space, it obeys gravity. So the more we expand in matter, the heavier we become. Not just physically, but energetically and mentally too. Science tells us matter is energy slowed down. It is vibration condensed into form. It looks solid, but it's not. It is just more tightly packed frequency. Light, on the other hand, is subtle. It doesn't have mass. It moves freely. It bends through galaxies. It isn't held by gravity in the same way. So, when we expand only in the physical plane, through material success, possessions, titles, attention, we are actually becoming more defined, more fixed, more limited. We are not freeing ourselves. We are building a more decorated, fancy cage. A fancy, well-curated jail for the ego. And slowly we begin to mistake accumulation for meaning. We protect the structure instead of remembering our essence. As the Bhagavad Gita reminds us, we are not the body. We are not even the mind. We are consciousness, subtle, free, infinite by nature. But when expansion stays in the third dimension, confined to time, space, and identity, it delays our access to subtle awareness. It becomes a detour, a distraction. It complicates the path back to spirit. Because true expansion doesn't stretch you outward. It deepens you inward. It roots you into the now and lifts you beyond the visible. This is what I call vertical expansion. The subtle movement beyond boundaries, beyond the seen, beyond the self-image. It doesn't look like more. It feels like less weight, less noise, less attachment. And in that lightness, you rise. So I gently invite you to reflect. Can you remember a time when your life was simpler? When your dreams were softer, when you were connected to a more innocent, soulful version of yourself? And now, look around. Look at the lives of those who have expanded fully in the material realm. How much energy do they spend maintaining it all? How much suffering hides behind the upgrades? Expansion is not always a gift. Expansion in the wrong plane is exhaustion. If this reflection stirred something in you, let it sit in stillness, let it echo, let it return you home. You can always listen again, or simply listen within. This is Align Within, Exhale Beyond. Until next time, my friend.